good, YouTube? It's Rage Real. So in today's video, I want to take a deep dive into one of the easiest blitzes inside of Madden 22. So if you enjoy this video, go and drop a like on the video right now. Go ahead and sub and turn on post notifications on. So the formation that we're talking about is the 4-6 normal, and we're going to be talking about the speed package. Now, the playbook that I'm in is the 4-6 playbook. Again, this is the 4-6 playbook. So I believe this is only found in 4-6 playbook. Make sure you check the description because I will actually confirm that. But first and foremost, man, I actually want to do it a little bit different that you guys might be used to in certain, YouTube videos. Now, what I will say is that this is a pretty meta formation. It used to be meta a long time ago, but it's not really so much meta, but it's still really good. Now, I want to take a deep dive so you can actually understand exactly what goes on in the speed package, because it might seem simple at first looking at it to just go speed, and you realize that we have like a corner or a safety in, and then you have a slot corner in instead of a linebacker. I want you to fully understand what you're doing, because if you don't, then you kind of mess this up and you won't be able to actually get the package that you like. So let's go in and dive right into this. So let's get started here. So for example, let's go and see who. So you notice how 21 actually moves in our linebacker spot. So notice how the normal package is 59, but if we move over, it's actually 21. And then notice we go back to the normal package again, we have 55, which is actually Bradley Roby. But make sure you do not sub anything in right here, nothing at all. So we're not gonna press any buttons, we're just looking. So notice how Bradley Chubb is right there at 55, right? So notice when we go to speed, now it's 23, and then we have 21 in there. So it's okay, who is number 23? Who is number 21, right? Now, I'm taking the time to do this, so whenever you set up your depth chart to actually play your games, you actually know exactly what's going on and exactly who is going where. That's really, really important with this. Now, let's go to cornerbacks first. So we're looking for 23, right? So 23 is right here. So that's Kyle Fuller. And remember, this is our linebacker spot. And then, actually, no, this is our slot cornerback spot. And 21 is actually our linebacker spot. So let's go back and take a look. And also, let's actually check slot corner just to make sure it didn't put any slot cornerback, because sometimes people might think that's what it does. So notice how it has Justin Simmons right here, and it has Bryce Callahan right here, 31 and 29, right? So let's go back and actually look so you can actually see exactly what's going on. So when you go to 4-6 speed, it's going to put your third string cornerback in at that slot cornerback position where Bradley Roby is in the normal package, right? And it's going to put 21, which is your fourth string cornerback, at linebacker. So why is that important, real? So as you guys already can tell, it's important because it lets you know who exactly are you going to have at linebacker. That could potentially either be a blitzer or your user, and you normally don't want to have a cornerback in that slot unless like you're playing mutt or something. So just for example, let's say I wanted Ford, no, let's just go Stearns, right? Because Stearns, he's a safety, but he has 91 speed, and we'd love him to be at linebacker, right? So what we're gonna do is take him, put him in that fourth string spot, and let's say for Ronald Darby, let's say we like his 91 speed, so we would like him in the slot, right? So we'll take Kyle Fuller out, and then we'll put Ronald Darby right there. Now this is all just, hypothetically saying that's how we want to set up our depth chart. And we'll take Kyle Fuller here just to keep him in rotation, our cornerbacks. We'll put him in that fifth string spot right there. So remember, our third string should be our slot cornerback, and the fourth string should be our linebacker. So let's actually go take a look, and it should be exactly how we want it, right? So let's go back to 4-6 normal, and then there we go. So we have number 30, which is Stearns, and we also have number 21, which is Ronald Darby, right? So other thing, let's say you still wanted, your linebacker in there. So let's go to, notice how Bradley Chubb, let's say we wanted Bradley Chubb to actually rush the passer, right? Because he's actually a much better pass rusher than he is a coverage person, because we're gonna have slot cornerback there. Now remember, you're not allowed to click right here, right? So you can't just go click right here, put in, J. Joel, and then actually like sub him in right here, or J. Joel is gonna stay there no matter what, right? So how are we gonna get him right there without actually having to move him? Now there's a couple ways we can actually do that. So one of the ways that you can do is actually the simplest way is simply just going to your left outside linebacker or right outside, whichever one he plays. Okay, so he plays right outside. So the simplest way is to go to right outside linebacker, and guess what we're gonna do? We're actually going to sub in somebody to take him out of the starting rotation. Now if you wanted to, you can even put him third if you want to, but second should be fine, so we'll do second. So you just want to take him out, right? So this way, what's going to happen now is that notice how now it has Bradley Chubb nowhere out there. So if we go to normal, it has the number 91 who we just put in there, Weatherly. So let's go back to speed. So now what does that allow us to do? That means we can actually make a audible, well, not an audible, we can actually sub in Bradley Chubb right here. So notice now how on speed, if we go back, notice how he's actually there for our pass rusher. So this is important just so you can understand how to get your linebackers out there. So if I wanted my other right outside linebacker in this spot, you know, simply all I have to do is go back to coaching adjustments, go to depth chart, and then at that point, I can actually go up here and actually go to my left outside. So let's just say I wanted somebody, you know, speed rush in there. So he's 77 speed. So let's say I'm like, okay, you know, I think Jonathan Cooper would be really nice. So what I could do here, of course, is just put Jonathan Cooper in my number 2 spot as long as he's not starting. You know, I could take a look. Okay, you know, 84 speed. Nah, I don't really want that. Let's say I wanted 87 speed. Well, you also got to think about your user too, which we'll get to that in a second. So your other linebacker spot. So let's just say we wanted, you know, Cooper there, who's number 53. So we want Cooper. So then what we'll do is we'll actually go back, and then we'll go back to our 4.6 normal. We'll go to our speed, and then we're still able to just sub him in how we want to. So we'll just look for Cooper. So that's what we want right there. And then let's say we wanted, you know, Harris right there. So now let's just, you know, that's how we're doing it. You know, maybe we'll take this guy, put him out. So now we have the exact, you know, 4 down line in front that we want. And we also have the DBs that we want out on the field, right? So another thing I do want to say too is notice 22. So 22, he's actually our strong safety. Now, I don't recommend you subbing in right there. So if you want to sub in, you know, somebody instead of him right there. So what you'll do is, let me actually explain this a little further in case you're kind of confused. So let's just say normal style 4.6 speed, we have Kareem Jackson right there, right? So we don't want him, right? We want somebody who's actually a lot faster, but I still don't like to touch that spot there. Now you can, it technically don't matter, but I like to just keep everything consistent. So what we'll do is actually go to our strong safety spot on our depth chart, and we'll actually move him somewhere else, and then I'll show you that here. So that's our strong safety position. So let's just say, because me personally, I like having my strong safety at linebacker. I think that really helps. So you could technically keep Kareem Jackson because we do have Stearns in there. But I just wanted to show you that if you wanted to sub, let's say you wanted somebody with a lot more speed, so you could just take this Michael dude right here, and then you can actually just sub in Kareem Jackson in the number 2 spot, so you can still have him available. But now what we'll do is we'll have a cornerback in that position, so we can have a lot better coverage on the field. So that's one way I like to do it. So now notice how we go to speed, and now we're gonna have a cornerback right there. So we really have 4 cornerbacks on the field. Well, we could have 4 if we wanted to sub in this safety up top, but we have 1 corner here, we have 1 corner here, and we also have a safety in, or it could be a corner if we wanted to. So you can actually, so I'm showing you that so you know exactly how to actually manipulate your coverages and do everything in that nature. Now, last and final thing, I know you guys are, you know, probably tired of me talking for 7 minutes. I appreciate you guys that are here, but right here you can actually sub in anybody you'd like, but like I said, I like to make sure everything stays consistent. So what I would do, I like to do everything in my depth chart, so that's why I wanted to show you that, just so when you get in game, it's already set up exactly how you like it. So all you have to do is set it up pre-game, you know, and you know exactly what you're doing. So right here, notice how Johnson's in. And also one thing I do want to say too is that it won't let you actually sub in anybody right here. So what I mean by that is, let's say for some reason I wanted this Stanier dude, right? Let's say for whatever reason I wanted him in, right? So, or let's go to a safety. Let's go to another safety. Are you playing Kareem? Okay, so let's say we put Kareem Jackson in, right? So you would think that you'd be able to get him in the middle linebacker. So I'll show you that doesn't work. So whatever way you want it, you want to make sure you go to middle linebacker, and we're gonna take Browning in and put him in because he has 87 speed, right? So maybe we'll take Johnson. Who knows? Put him right here just because. Actually 84, so we'll do it that way. Now remember, we have Browning in, and also we have Kareem Jackson in our slot for our sub linebacker, right? So notice how Kareem Jackson does not go into the game as sub linebacker. So the only way you can move that linebacker position is if you manually sub him in, or you actually have the option to do it in your depth chart. But I believe the depth chart is the fastest way. Now, I spent 9 minutes talking about that just so you can understand exactly how you can actually go about getting the 4.6 normal speed package the way you want it exactly in your depth chart without even loading up a game. So that's exactly how you would do that. And also, of course, don't forget, you can still sub in a safety if you want. So you can sub in a corner here if you wanted to. And you can move Justin Simmons wherever you wanted to. So like if you wanted him at middle linebacker, you now know how to do that, to put him in this position right here. You know, so if you wanted him blitzing or using him. So as you can tell, the possibilities are endless. Just wanted to spend a lot of time talking about that because that was something that confused me for a little while, exactly how to get people where I wanted. Played around with it in practice mode and figured it out. So I wanted to bring it to you guys. Now, moving on, the parts you probably care about is the actual blitz. Now, you can actually do this with inside blitz. You can do this with, technically, you could do rush outside, which is actually a really nice little man blitz. But for right now, I really just want to show you fire zone 3, and I may touch on you know what, I may touch on it. So instead of inside blitz, I'm actually gonna put rush outside in there because I actually do like that little concept. So I want to show you fire zone 3. Now, before I get started, another thing you can do too as well is I like to turn auto flip off. And the reason why is because I like knowing which side I'm blitzing from every single time. Because one thing I do want to show you is, let's say we have 4-6 normal, right? So notice how you know, number 30 and everything is on this side. Now notice when we flip the play, right? So notice how we just flipped it. Now kind of look what happens. So notice how now it's going to put number 21 Ronald Darby, so it's going to kind of swap them, and now number 30 is on this side, so it basically just swaps them. And I never like my slot cornerback blitzing from the linebacker position. That's just me personally. So that's why I would keep auto flip off, so that way it comes out on this right side every single time, and I know that this guy right here is blitzing every single time. That's just me personally. So let's just go to fire zone 3. Now also, don't forget, you could put zone drops on, which I'll talk about that here in a second. So let's just go to random gun. It doesn't matter. As long as it's a pass and play, cool. So there's a lot of things you can do out of this. So technically, you can actually just not even touch anything. You can actually just blitz your user. You can quarterback its head. You can actually just sit in this hole, and you can actually grab this lineman and then, you know, go out and cover. That's one way you can do it. Or another way I like doing it too is actually pinching my line. And the reason I like pinching my line because it actually helps you shoot the run a little better. So either I'll pinch my line or I'll slide my line away from the running back. So that way I'll actually come on this side and I'll be able to blow up the run if I need to. But I'll still show you that you can get through with this. So I like to either stand right here or sometimes I'll stand right here. It just depends on what we're doing. So let's just say I wanted to stand right here, for example. So we'll come here. As long as you grab a lineman, notice how right there we actually didn't get to grab anybody. That's why you want to pay attention where you stand at and pay attention where your line slides. So let's just go back to another passing play, mesh spot. Okay, cool. Everybody's on the route. And like I said, you want to call this when they're blitzing, when they're sending their running back out. If they're blocking their running back every time, just play coverage, make it look like a blitz. So let's say I wanted to slide my line away. Now, every now and again, that person will actually get in the gap. So what you can do is actually just tap them real quick, and then they'll actually get out the gap. That's one good way to do it. Now, right here, I like the quarterback and tape, but you definitely don't have to. So I would actually stand right here and then see if we can grab anybody. So notice how we come here. Notice how that way we actually didn't get to grab them. So that's one thing that's you have to be careful with this on the defense is that it's very important where you stand if you're going to slide your line. But the best way really is just to actually not do anything and quarterback attain. That is the most effective way. So let me just show you that. So let's say we stand right here. Because with this way, you can stand right here, you can stand right here. But the problem is when they start running the ball, that's when you want to start sliding your line, basically. So let's say we come right here. Notice how I touch 62, and then notice how we actually get a disengaged logic. Normally comes in a lot smoother than that. I'm going to go on replay, kind of see what happens. But that's essentially the gist of. That's why I said it's literally the easiest blitz you can do in Madden. Literally one of the easiest. Notice we touch 62, and notice who's coming free right here. He's coming free. So for some reason, like I said, he kind of just did this little weird animation that hardly ever happens. And in game, he's actually wanting to just, you know, continue to scream right here. And notice that Stearns right there blitzing number 30. And like I said, normally it's going to come in pretty fast. And I'll talk about coverage in a second. I know I haven't touched on anything about coverage. I just wanted you to understand the base of this blitz. And I love using this when my opponent wants to actually show me he wants to pass or run the ball. Because like I said, since it's like a tight formation basically on defense, or 4-6, it's naturally going to be really great against the run. So let's just stand right here. Make sure I actually didn't call, okay, I called inside zone. I want to show y'all that in a second here. So I just want to show one more example. So let's say we put him on a route. And like I said, that's all you want to do. Just quarterback and take, come right here, you know, touch somebody if you can. And then you want to basically come lurk. And like I said, it's not coming through smooth for whatever reason, but I promise you guys, it's just a numbers game. That's why I want to see what happened actually. But it's literally just a numbers game. So let's see right here. So notice how we touch him. And like I said, I'm not sure exactly. Oh, that's why the tight end blocked. Okay, so if the tight end blocks, obviously it's not going to come through because it's not a blitz. It's just, you know, are they sending 5 out? If they send 5 out, let's go in and blitz them, right? So coverages you can do. So let's say you didn't want to blitz against empty for whatever reason. There's a lot of different coverages you can do. So I like keeping the same coverage out of this. I like keeping the same play but switching up the coverages, just so my opponent won't really know what's coming. So a lot of things you can do. You can actually turn zone drops on. You can put your flat to like 15. And then you can take this guy and put him at 5 if you want to. Now, this is a pretty meta way to actually play it. And you can take that guy and put him in a hard flat. So this is one coverage shell, as you guys know. Now, this is also rushing 4 people. So there's a lot of different things we can do. So another thing I like to do too is I'll take this guy right here. Not this. I'll take him. I'll actually put him in the middle third. And I'll actually scoop this guy to the strong or weak side. It depends. So in this scenario, I would probably just take this guy right here. And then move him to this side. or I'll probably put him on this side. I'll probably do him like this. So you just want to bump him over a little bit, and you'll take circle, put him in a cloud flat, and then you'll take him, put him in a deep path. You can actually move him back and kind of make it look like you're not going to be playing like cover 2 over that side. And I'll take that cloud flat now, and I put him in a vertical hook. Or a hook, whichever one. Both of them are really fine. Or what you can do too, you can actually take X and just man him up to actually circle or X. A lot of times I like to man him up to the slot, just so that way I don't give up that quick streak. That's one way I like to do that. And I like to back him up just a tiny bit to where you're not giving it away. And this is a cover shell I like. Or another thing I do, I take square and actually put him in a vertical hook just like this. And I'll take my square, because that's normally an athletic player, I like to take him and put him in a hard flat, but remember we have our hard flats on like 15 or 20, right? So that's one way I like to do it right there. Or of course you already know, you can actually just do a double Mabel to that side if you want. And you can actually just make this one right here. You can make him play, you know, 0 or 5, whatever you have that. You can take that linebacker out there, you could put him at 15 or 20, and you could just technically take him and back him off some if you wanted to, because that's a slot cornerback, which is really, really nice. Because we can also, you know, man him up if we want to. We have the option to man him up, or we have the option to put him in a hard flat. Now, this is another base setup that I like too. If I do this, I like to spread my line and then crash my line up and then put him back on a hard flat. So this way we can actually get some good pass rush animation. So notice how right here we actually get a little disengage, and that's how that would happen. So a lot of different things you can do out of that, man. A lot of different. So one thing I do want to show you, of course, like I said, is the rush outside. So rush outside is great. So one thing you can do is actually show blitz. So let me actually show you that again. So let's actually baseline and put it back normal. So if you press normally, notice how the slot cornerbacks don't move. But when I show blitz, notice how that slot cornerback actually walks to the line. So that's one thing you can do. And you can actually quarterback attain and then look at the angle you get from this guy. So that's actually really, really nice. Excuse me. So what you can do with X, you can actually take him and put him in like a purple or something, and you'll just either A, you can actually just come down here on the free safety and use him, or B, you know, you could actually just use it at linebacker. So this is actually a really cool setup too. So let's just see. So like I said, a lot of times you're gonna get something that's actually glitchy. Look at those glitchy little pass rush animation that you get when they stand up, and you could have actually set up a little different depending on exactly how you want to do it for shotgun. So what I mean by that is you can actually just come here and let me go back to rush outside. So you go to rush outside, you can actually play a cover shell that looks like this, of course, and you can put them back in the middle. We can shade over the top, and now we can actually use this guy if we wanted to, and we can actually just blitz off the edge like this. And what you can do, you can actually come here, you can actually slide your line or whatever, whichever way you want to slide them. And notice how we slide him, he actually comes down and walks down. So that's one thing you can do. So when I slide my line to the left, notice how he walks down. But if I slide my line to the right, notice how he goes back up. So that's something that you can definitely take advantage of. So we can actually slide our line down, and you can actually come just stand anywhere you want. Let me actually make sure that passing the ball right. So if you wanted to play just some overrated man coverage and get a nice little blitz, what you can do is just overload this left side right here so we can actually touch 62, and notice how he's going to come screaming off the edge. So if you wanted to play really, really aggressive style man coverage, that is the best way to do it. So if you're an ultimate team watching this, this is actually a really good defense for you to use, because they cannot run the ball because of 4-6, and as long as you touch one of the linemen, we're going to be guaranteed to get one free, because we are rushing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we just touch somebody, then at that point 62 is going to dumb out, as you can tell, and then we're going to get a cornerback or our cornerback that's playing linebacker screaming off the edge. So you can tell right here that's actually Bryce Callahan, Ronald Darby, excuse me, and he's actually going to be in our slot cornerback spot. So really, really good things you can do out of that. So again, I'll show you that here again. So let's just say they come back to let's just go with doubles wide flex off, right? So then let's just say now if you wanted to get pressure with your running back blocking, you actually have to play a bit more aggressive, unfortunately, because like I said, it's a numbers game. So if you wanted to go rush outside and then we actually wanted to show blitz, so I actually want to press and show blitz, it should walk them down. Okay, sometimes it don't, but that's fine if it doesn't. Let me just go back to show blitz. Okay, there we go. And then what we're gonna do here is quarterback attain, and you can run it like this. Now what I would suggest you do is take this guy right here, just kind of bring him down some, and then put him right there. And then now we can actually play just super aggressive. So now your responsibility is running back, so we can shade over the top. And if you wanted to from this point, you can actually back off coverage individually, or you could just manually back him off. But I already touched the cornerback out there, so he's not gonna back off. But anyways, what you can do here, you can come here, touch him, and then from that point we can just try to play aggressive with the pass rusher, and that's another way that you can do it. So that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for this video, though. I think that's everything I wanted to touch on basically. So also you can set up, they also do have cover to invert. So if you wanted to play around with coverages like that, you can do it out of cover 2 invert. One really meta thing you can do out of it is you can actually use this guy right here. You can take triangle and actually put him in the middle third. So now basically what we're gonna do is if they run the ball, if they happen to run the ball with this, all you want to do is click the right stick in, and that's going to help you get better run defense. And remember, you can still slide your line however way you want. And the good thing about this is that normally, even though they ID you, a lot of times they aren't going to make it to you just because they have those linebackers to get to. So when they run the ball, you want to click R3, and that's going to make your linebacker actually, come down and help you support the run. But you can stand wherever you want to. So that's another, like I said, very meta, I'll say, setup as far as playing cover 2 with a middle third, and then you're basically going to replace that vertical hook. Or if you wanted to, you could take square and actually put him in a vertical hook right here. And then notice now we're just going to have to play the middle, and technically we can run something like this. If you wanted to spy, I would recommend spying your best pass rusher. So if they're playing like a Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, something like that, then you can do definitely something like this. This is a very, very meta setup as far as coverage you can go, because you can put those clouds at anything you want. If they're running a lot of flat routes, you could always take one of your guys, put them in the flat. Or if you wanted to, like I said, you could just always just blitz from this look right here. You could just quarterback a chain, shade down, shade up, for, over the top. That's if you wanted to take X and do whatever you want with them. But I would actually take my safety here, play really aggressive, and then basically just see if we can get something glitchy. And sometimes you can also do that too as well. That's what's really nice about this formation, because you can use your blitz if you want. It's just use that at your own discretion. You can tell, we'll try it again here, but use that at your own discretion, because it's not always going to work that way. And it's a high risk, high reward type of play if you're going to use your blitz. It's just sometimes it will work out that way. So if for some reason they run something like this, a lot of times you could probably get away with shooting the gap right there, as you can tell, which is really, really annoying to deal with, especially if you have a fast user. So that's going to be how I end the video, basically. So if you want to do that, just be very, very careful, because we're playing all out. So notice they could have threw X if they wanted to. But that's just the kind of risk that you take when you run this type of defense, because you're just hoping that you can get there before he actually realizes, hey, he's leaving a man wide open. So, yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this video, though. Sorry for it being too long. I really hope you guys got a lot of value out of this. And this is how I plan on breaking down my defensive videos, just so you can fully understand exactly how I like to do it. And then you can actually try yourself and then let me know exactly how you like it. But anyways, I do hope you guys have a blessed day. I'm Rage Real, and I'm out.